the moral rights. Economic rights, to bring economic benefits, that is, when you sell, you get bonus, money, and that is all about the economic rights available to an author. That is the right of reproduction, right of distribution, issuing copies, right to communication to the public, performance, internet communications, adaptation rights, conversion into another form. Right? I have written a book and I am selling it, but one finds that yes, out of this I can make a movie, and he produces a movie without my consent. Is it violation?
Yes.
Yes. Why? Because it is adaptation rights. Right? To reproduce in the form of book, in the form of movie, in the form of drama, in the form of any other thing which is capable of a copyright confers such adaptation rights. With whom the ownership rests with. In case of literary, that is books, author, drama, dramatist, music, composer, artistic work, painter, sculptor, architect, photographer, author of computer, person who causes the work, cinematography, producer, sound recording, producer, right? So they do have the ownership rights, right? Ownership cinema, right? The actor, actress, they don't have any right over the movie. They perform, get money, that's all. There is the matter, right? They cannot question how much money you earn thereafter you make payment. So they don't have such right. In the course of employment, that's also very important. It's an employer who gets the ownership over the property, intellectual property rights. Say for example, if a person is specifically employed a person to write a script for a movie, if he writes a script, he gives it to the producer gets the ownership, not the writer of the script, because it is done under the employment. But in the case of teachers, teachers are employed to teach, not to write books. So if the teacher writes a book, he gets ownership over the book, not the employer, right? If sir writes a book, right, KLE won't get the ownership. It's the sir will get the ownership over the book. In case of the copyright, right, registration is not compulsory, right? But if you register it, it will get protection easily. Otherwise, what happens is if you don't register under the law, then it is very difficult for you to prove it that it was you who produced the work prior to the person who has registered the book. Duration. Look at this. It's life plus 60 years. Life of the author plus 60 years. The protection is available. What is that? Life after the death of a person, who cares, right? It is the legal representatives of the author, right? They take care of the intellectual property right. That is especially in the case of the copyright. In the case of copyright, life plus 60 years. I skip these because there are other important slides. Rights of broadcasting organizations, say for example, the matches that are telecast, right? It is the Star Sports. They have the right for 25 years. Nobody can telecast it. Even in the news, also they cannot show clips. They cannot show clips also because it is violation of the copyright, broadcasters' rights, and that is the reason why nowadays the clips are not available, because they are taking very, very serious action against these news channels. Some news channels, in the form of providing news, used to telecast live. That is clear violation of the broadcasters' rights. and now they have issued legal notices. They cannot use even a small clip, even a photograph also. That is, to that extent the broadcaster rights are protected under the laws. Now, come to the next important intellectual property right, patents. Patent is an exclusive right granted for an invention, which is a product or a process. Two things are important. Patent can be given to a product or to a process also. It's a limited monopoly right. A person who gets the patent rights has got exclusive right to reproduce it, and no other person can. And the period is only 20 years. In the case of patents, a person who gets the patent can make use of that right to reproduce the product or process for 20 years only, and thereafter it becomes in the public domain and anybody can use it. These are all the important sections. See, as I just pointed out earlier, that it's a territorial in nature, and everywhere you have to go and file patent applications. Now we have patent cooperation treaty. So countries felt that there is a need for having a patent cooperation treaty, and accordingly we have a patent cooperation treaty wherein there are 148 countries who have signed this. And if you file an application under this treaty mechanism, it is filed in the 148 countries. It is as good as filing a patent application in the 148 countries, and their respective registrars of patents will verify whether this particular product or process is capable of issuing the patent rights, and thereafter the patent rights are granted. What can be patented is also very important, right? There are three criteria. One, it should be new. Anything, if you say that this is a product, right, it's a pen. It's a pen, and if you say that yes, it is a product and I want to patent it, no. Because there is nothing new in this. There is nothing new in this. But if I can say it can also be used as cell phone. It can also be used as a camera. It can also be used as a projector. It can also be used as say testing BP, other things. Then yes, this product can be patented because it is new. So anything which is new can be patented. What is new? Which is not in public domain, which is not known to the public, and that is new. So invention should be new. Any drug, any medicine, if you through your intellect produce it, able to say that yes, it cures this. If it is new, fine. It is first condition is fulfilled. Non-obviousness, that is inventive step. Even the step also should be new. Otherwise, the second criteria, that is inventive step, should be new. That is should not be natural. It should be new. Industrial application, again it is a commercial exploitation, very, very important. And if these three criteria are fulfilled, then patent can be issued. Patents are granted by the patent offices. We have 4 patent offices, one at Chennai, Mumbai, Kolkata, and Delhi. Inventions not patentable, that's also important, right? If it is a trifling invention which is prejudicial to public order or environment, abstract theories, method of agriculture, horticulture, process of treating human beings, right, that cannot be patented. Process of treating human beings, that cannot be patented because it is against the public order. Plants, animals, mathematical programs, literary programs, they come under different categories of intellectual property rights, but they cannot be patent, they cannot be granted patents. I skipped some of the slides because we're getting short of time, I think. Mere arrangement or a rearrangement or duplication of known devices, right? They cannot be patented. It can be a new product, but it cannot be patented. For example, a bucket fitted with a torch, right? That cannot be patented. And a mobile with a torch, right? That cannot be patented. Yes. Next one is designs. What is a design? Features of shape, configuration, pattern, ornament, composition of lines, colors applied to any article, whether in 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional or in both forms, by any industrial process or means, whether manual, mechanical, chemical. That's how the definition is. What is design, right? Solely appealable to the eye. That is the only criteria for granting design rights. We look at the shape, any product you take, right? Even when you go to vegetable shop also, right? We look to that, and then only we purchase. Even for whether it is apple, carrot, or whatever it is, right? We look to the shape, right? Then only we purchase. Look at this. So once the design, right, which is appealable to the eye, immediately it catches our attention, and that design is capable of inducing you to purchase the product. You don't know what quality it is, but because it is available to you, immediately you say, yes, I want this. Even the shape of the smartphones also, right? If it is lightweight or looking good, better. Performance is later, but the shape, the design, right, that attracts the consumers, and that is a design capable of protection. The one in the middle, right, we have come across very recently, isn't it? Right. So whether that design, I'm not about the product, I am now discussing the design of the product. Look at that. If a person has produced this, right, no other person with this design can produce the same product. He can produce the product, but with a different design. Right? With a different design, it is possible. It's very difficult to prevent the misuse of the designs, right, when you come to textile and this thing, right? But still they are capable of the protection and the Design Act, right? This is also, that is capable of protection under the Design Act, right? It's 10 years, right? Initial protection for design is 10 years. What is excluded? Any mode or principle of construction or anything which is its substance, a mere mechanical device, right? That kind of a design is not capable of protection under the law. Same criteria as if it is not new, if it is not original, then though it appeals to the eye, but it won't get the protection under the Designs Act. So it should be capable of distinguishable from other products. And that is another element of the designs. A design which comprises or contains a scandalous or obscene matter is not capable of protection under the Design Act, which is contrary to the public order or morality. Right. Now, trademarks. These are the popular trademarks that we come across every now and then, right? Can you use this IBM or say Tata or say Micromax on your products, right? Can you produce pens with IBM logo on the pen? No, it is not possible because IBM is a protected trademark. So only that person who has registered the trademark, right? He can only use that IBM trademark for any product. Even Tata has come to salt also, right? Tata salt. But whether salt is patentable, no, it is not patentable. But Tata, you cannot sell salt using Tata. Right? You can sell salt, but not with the logo Tata. Or say these logos. A name of an enterprise or a mark capable of being represented graphically, distinguishing the goods or services of one person from others, and that is a trademark, right? Example: Zio, Lux, Godrej, etc., right? Trademark can be sign, words, letters, numbers, drawings, pictures, emblem, colors, combination of colors, shape of goods, graphic representation, etc. If it has taken that name under the product usage, then it gets the protection under the trademark law. It's 10 years initially for any trademark, they get the protection. Marks on goods, service marks, say for example, State Bank of India's logo. Then collective marks, say for example, International Cricket Council, ICC. So they do have a logo. Olympic, they do have a logo. So collective marks. State emblems, official hallmarks, emblems, intergovernmental organizations, such marks cannot be called as trademark which can be protected. You cannot. Now, another important intellectual property right is geographical indications of the goods, popularly known as GI, geographical indications. Look to this. If I say Dharwad Peda, right, Mysore Park, say Belgaum Kunda, right? So now they are all geographical indications. You cannot sell using the Dharwad Peda label on any other Peda. I mean any other Peda in the sense you cannot use that label and sell Pedas saying that it is Dharwad Peda. Dharwad Peda is exclusively a geographical indications right. So the persons who are associated with the geographical indications, they can make use of that geographical indication. No other person. For example, say Darjeeling tea, right? Darjeeling tea. So Darjeeling tea, again, it is a geographical indication. If you produce a tea here in Karnataka and use the label Darjeeling tea, then it is violation of that geographical indication. So the persons who are producing Darjeeling tea in that particular area only having exclusive right to use that geographical indications. For example, Kolhapur chappals also. Kolhapur chappals, geographical indications now. So only people who are in that particular region can make use of that label, Kolhapur chappal, and they can sell it. It's a 10 years protection. Mysore silk also. Mysore, see, I am from Irital, so Irital sari is also known, right? And geographical indications they are trying, but they are yet to receive. I understand. So they have filed it. So yet to receive geographical indication status for the Irital saris. So semiconductor integration is all beyond our reach. Basically, I'm an arts student, so this is semiconductor integrated circuit layout design. Right? There is a law, it's intellectual property rights. It's a layout designs of semiconductor integrated circuits can get protection through registration. It's initially for 10 years. It should be new, it should be capable of a commercially exploitation, that is making use of the commercially. Those are the aspects that are associated with this particular intellectual property rights. Trade secrets again. Trade secrets, if you apply and get protection, it is in the public domain, because it is registered, the very process, very product, when you make an application for the registration, it has to be in the material form, and registrar will go through the entire product, entire process, and other persons also has access to such information. So it is in the public domain. But these trade secrets, right, they are with the person who is making use of such secrets in its business. And as a result, if somebody who is working in the institution and thereafter when he comes out of the institution, make use of the secret associated with the business, then it is violation of this intellectual property rights associated with the trade. 20 years limitation, protection. Another important one is plant varieties and farmers' rights. Right. You must have heard genetically modified products, right? Say for example, a carrot. A carrot is known for certain curable things. Whether it is any other vegetable, it has its own features. If you can get other features of vegetables in one vegetable, in carrot, and that is a genetically modified product. And it is possible now, right? But how far it is good for health and all that, the government has to verify and allow the marketing of such genetically modified products. Say for example, the cotton which we know is white, right? So now cotton can be different colors. How it is possible? It is possible because the science and technology. Science and technology has grown to such a level where, right, you can grow cotton different colors. We have reached that stage. Especially with respect to this, where seeds, right? We need a law to protect these seeds. Now the multinational companies are coming into this field. There was hesitation. I hope you have come across farmers' association near Delhi, right? Because now the government is allowing the multinational companies to enter agriculture field also. So they purchase 100, 500, 1,000 acres of fertile land and start growing potato, tomato, carrot, this, that, and they will sell it. Then what about the farmers who have only half acre, 1 acre? They will be left with no other way except to sell their products to the companies. We will be reaching that stage. So that is the reason why there was hesitation. But the government was saying there was a lot of protection available to the small scale farmers. But that was not acceptable to many, and hence there was hesitation, and the government recalled that legislation. And that was the first in the history of any parliament or government where they recalled a legislation. Right? So it has happened for the first time in the history of any government, right? Where when the bill is passed, before it comes into force, the government was forced to withdraw that legislation. To save, use, sow, resow, exchange, share or sell his farm produce including seed in the same manner as he was entitled earlier. Nowadays, companies do sell seeds. Previously, farmers used to save seeds for next season. Now it is not happening. They don't bother saving the seeds. So we don't get original seeds now. They are all genetically modified, manufactured seeds we are getting now. So what we purchase from the companies, seeds, right? They are all manufactured in one or the other way. So previously our farmers, right, they used to save seeds and they are capable of giving good results. But that is not happening, and that is the reason why we have farmers' rights under the plant varieties law. We have WIPO, the World Intellectual Property Organization, who is the main organization dealing with intellectual property rights. It invites nations. It provides a platform for the countries to discuss the seriousness about the protection of intellectual property rights across the globe, and they want uniform legislation throughout the world. If you go to America, they do have a different patent law. If you come to India, you have different patent law, copyright law. So it differs from nation to nation, and that is why we call it as IPR is basically a territorial law, not international law. Though it is recognized internationally, but the states are given the exclusive right to have their own IP laws. And later we found that that particular aspect is not helping, because in India, especially in patent field, right, there is a lot of scope for copying the process, and as a result we get cheaper medicines. And that is the reason why European and American countries have forced the World Intellectual Property Organization to have TRIPS, trade-related intellectual property rights. Trade, that's how it comes in, trade. So they force the countries to adopt uniform intellectual property rights. And when India signed TRIPS, right, there was hesitation that we should not sign TRIPS. But if we don't sign TRIPS, what would have happened? The economic repercussions on the India. So that is the reason why India signed the TRIPS. And we have fine-tuned our IPR laws in accordance with international standards. Yes. I think I have covered briefly the intellectual property rights in India. Copyright, patent, trademark, designs, geographical indications, trade secrets, plant varieties, and farmers' rights. Any questions? Would love to have. Hope it is not bounced, whatever that I discussed.
Any questions idre kelri?
Do you have any questions? If you have any questions, you can raise your hand. Mine will come to your place. We hope you understood. Yes or no? And more biotechnology students are there. You have in your syllabus IPR, intellectual property rights. I hope 50% are covered here. Your subject. Do you have any questions?
Thank you.
I hope students understood today's topic a little bit, right? It was not related to totally your chemistry, botany, zoology, or commerce, or any other thing, PCMB, right? It was general. Sir actually made it very clearly. He sir made wonderful PPT so that everybody can understand. Yes or no? Yes. For this, may I have a big round of applause to our very difficult to make IPR very to understand in general it's very difficult, but sir did that one. And actually our respected principal Dr. Arun Kumar sir wanted to come, but because of due to other busy schedule he is not coming. Now I request our Master of Ceremony Meghana to continue.
Thank you so much sir for enlightening us. Now I request Sahana to express gratitude. On this platform, it's my privilege to stand here and propose a formal vote of thanks. At the outset, I would like to express deep sense of gratitude on behalf of management of KLE Society, principals, all the HODs and coordinators, and on my personal behalf, the Honorable Resource Person of today's